Good morning, Libra. Welcome to your reading. My name is Ben. I hope you guys are doing well. One second. Let me start the timer. But yeah, I already addressed where I've been for a while in a different video, so if you want to watch that, you can. I'm going to hop right into your reading. So we're going to see what's going on with all of you, and I hope you're doing good. Hierophant. So two things. Some sort of commitment is entering your life. Doesn't have to be romance. It just means a commitment in general. Whether that be some sort of contract or it could be a commitment. It's really anything that's a commitment and requires like a lot of responsibility. Also, with the Hierophant, your spirit guides are ever present. They are always around you, but they're especially heightened. Their presence is being made known to you very much more. Beautifully articulated. No. Much more than usual. Alright, 10 of Cups, 4 of Cups. Interesting mix. Emotional fulfillment, emotional discontent. So, you're in between. It's like you have your 10 of Cups, or you feel like you do, but you're also just kind of like meh about it. If you hear whining, that is my dog. She doesn't like coming down here, but she will be fine, I promise. Even if she whines. Alright. World. I just did Virgo's reading. Virgo had a lot of these similar cards. So if you want to watch that, go for it. If you have any connection, go for it. So also with the World, it looks like this cycle is going to be ending for you, which is good. Where you're kind of feeling like you have your 10 of Cups, but also discontent. So alright, let me pull cards here. Because for Virgo's reading, we didn't end up pulling cards till like halfway through the reading. Because so many cards kept flying out. So let me pull cards here. And I got different tablecloths. I'm going to be switching these out. I like them. I got different ones. I have my old one that I used to use, but I moved it for a bit because I wanted to change it up a little bit. So that one will be coming back, the skull one. That's still my favorite. But I wanted to try out different looks. I have 2 more over there. No, 3. 3 that I will be swapping out at different times. Alright, let's pull some clarifiers. Six of Swords. Yeah, so you're going to be moving away from the trouble. The trouble. I meant to say the troubled waters. From the trouble. Alright. Stay. I started this, right? Yeah. 10 of Cups again. I like to see this Wheel of Fortune here. I was just thinking that because it hasn't come out in general readings very much, but it's been coming out in personal readings, which is interesting. So I'd like to see it in a general reading this time. Alright. Okay, so we're going to start in the past, like we usually do. Oh, this is past, present, future, for those who have not seen my spread before. Which I might be changing my spread in the future, but for now we're going to keep it like this until I finish these first 12 readings for June. Keep them all consistent. Alright, so, yeah. In the past, you were dealing with somebody... It was somebody that knew their worth, in a sense, but not enough to actually like live by it or act on it. It was more so like... I'm sure you can think of an example of that, where somebody knows that they're worth more, but they're settling for less because they're stuck in devil energy. That's the energy it was, okay? And while they were doing that, or in that energy, they were trying to offer you the Knight of Cups, which is a romantic offer, right? So that's not really a romantic offer that you want, because if somebody doesn't value and appreciate themselves, they're not going to value and appreciate you, right? So you had to be the Strength card, right? We got Strength, 10 of Cups, King of Wands. You had to be the more... you had to take charge of that situation in a sense where It could have been a Ten of Cups potential if this person was balanced, but they were not balanced. So you had to be that King of Wands. You had to make the authoritative call to not engage in that situation, or if you guys were already together, to end that situation because it wasn't healthy because of the devil energy. So that has ended, all right, at least for the time being. And with the High Priestess, the Ten of Wands, and the Eight of Pentacles, hold on, I am really hot. I'm going to take my sweatshirt off. I don't know why I put a hoodie on in the first place. I'm going to keep talking while I do that. So the High Priestess is your inner knowing. One second. Oh, it's so hot. Jesus Christ. I hate the summer. Okay. Anyway, yeah, the High Priestess is your inner knowing. And with the Ten of Wands, it was kind of like you always knew this, but you didn't really want to, like, with the Eight of Pentacles here, actually work on it and make that final decision to do that, either to leave this person or to end the situation between you two. So obviously that's a tough thing to do because you care about the person, but it's because you care for somebody and you love them that you make those hard decisions. Because when love means doing what is best for you and what is best for somebody else. It doesn't mean coddling. It doesn't mean overlooking people's bad habits, because that's not love. That's enabling them to stay in devil energy, which is not love, okay? Love is the brutal, honest truth, and it's also complete freedom. Love is freedom and truth, okay? So without those two things, you will not have true love. All right, so that's how you were feeling, okay? Also with the Ace of Cups, the Eight of Cups, and the Magician. One second, thirsty. It was, you, like I said, kind of similar to right here. You wanted the Ace of Cups. You wanted that, you know, the overflow of emotion in this relationship or in this connection. But with the Eight of Cups, that's walking away from the Eight because it's not satisfying enough, right? The 8 becomes stagnant. It's not the 10, like you're not all the way there. So you have to leave that behind to go after the 10, right? And with the Magician here, you're manifesting the 10, or in the past you were, right? So that's good, okay? So that was the past energy. We're going to move now into the present energy. Your central focus, rip, rest in peace. No, I'm kidding, but Three of Swords, the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Swords, okay? So there's the two sevens right there, so you are dealing with a lot of obstacles and challenges. And the Three of Swords is emotional pain. So it's like you're now dealing with the aftermath of what happened in the past, of you having to leave that situation, also the things that took place in that connection. Even if it never got to the point where it was a relationship or dating, the connection between you two was very strong, especially with the Four of Wands and the Two of Cups down here. Strong soul connection, okay? So it's now you're dealing with the aftermath of that, where you have to deal with the pain that comes after that. And the Seven of Cups is there because it can feel confusing. When you're dealing with the Three of Swords, when you're dealing with pain in general, it can cloud your mind and your judgment. Not necessarily your judgment, but you know what I mean, where like when you're upset about something, you're not thinking clearly because you're so frazzled about what is upsetting you. And also being paired with the Seven of Swords, it's almost like you're dealing with the emotional pain, but with the Seven of Swords, you almost want to escape from it. So be careful of falling into like drinking or, drugs, or really any sort of escape mechanism like casual sex. There's nothing wrong with sex, obviously. Kundalini energy, which is sexual energy, is the most sacred energy that there is, and it should be shared. But when you're going out and having sex with anybody, you're picking up all of their, when you connect sexual energies with a person, you are exchanging energy. So if you're already in a low vibration and you're engaging with somebody that's also in a low vibration, it's going to bring you down even further. Okay? Free love, absolutely. Like that's how it should be. You can have sex with whoever you want, you can love whoever you want, you can do whatever you want. But just be cautious and mindful of who you are doing that with, okay? Because it is an exchange of energy. So if somebody's vibration is really low, or not, at least not on the same level as yours, you are going to end up picking up their problems and their vibration, okay, if you connect with them sexually. So that's where the problem of a lot of people have that problem where they like to be open sexually, and that's great, but they haven't learned how to choose carefully of who they are connecting with, okay, because it's an escape mechanism to go out and have sex with a bunch of people, because you feel that connection for a short time, right? That physical connection, that intimate connection for a short time, but in the end, it's never emotionally fulfilling because it's kind of like a hookup. You know what I mean? It may feel good at the time, but afterwards, it kind of just doesn't feel good because number one, you picked up their bad energy, and number two, it's a reminder that they weren't actually like a relationship. It was just a hookup. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful of your mental space when you're in that space. Okay. That is usually an escape route, all right? If you're having casual sex with people that are truly deserving of your energy and that you guys are a vibrational match, then that's amazing because that can actually empower you and uplift you and actually help you raise your vibration because you're having those meaningful, even if it's only a one-night thing, if you're having those meaningful sexual encounters with people on the same vibrational level as you, then you're both benefiting because you're both in a high vibration, you know what I mean? But that's why I'm saying, just be careful you're not going around with a bunch of low vibrational people because you're picking up those bad habits, those negative thought patterns, those low vibrational energies, right? So just be aware of that. Or also, like I said, drinking, drugs, whatever. Just be careful of that, okay? And when I say drugs, I mean like man-made drugs. Natural drugs are always fine, like marijuana, mushrooms, LSD. There is a natural form of LSD and DMT. Those are all natural. Ayahuasca, you got mescaline, but that's a little harder. But that's getting off track. But anyway, marijuana and mushrooms are your go-to for healing, right? Especially mushrooms. But I mean like heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine. Stay away from that stuff, okay? Trust me, it's not a path you want to go down. So if you do need help, reach out to somebody, or if you know about mushrooms are the best way to heal yourself internally. But okay, anyway, moving away from that, I don't want to dwell on that. That is your central focus, okay? That's why I was kind of spending some time there, but it's not all doom and gloom in your present. There's actually beautiful energy around you, but since that was your central focus, I really wanted to address that, okay? So moving on, we have in your mental space, you have Justice, the King of Swords, and the Page of Wands. So in your mental space, you are being decisive and also differentiating between what it's like you're aware that what you're dealing with right now is karma. And I know when people hear the word karma, they think they did something wrong. That's not the case. Karma simply means consequences or the effects of choices that you've made in the past. Okay? It's the spiritual law of cause and effect. So what you have the free will to make whatever choices you want, but you do not have control over the consequences of those choices, okay? Which is karma. That's where the spiritual law of karma comes into play. So what I'm saying is what you're dealing with now is a consequence of decisions you've made in the past where you were with somebody that you've always felt, like we said, was not balanced, but you really cared for them, so you put up with their shit for a little while, right? But because of that, you are now dealing with the karma of that, which is dealing with the emotional pain that was caused by doing that, right? So everything that we deal with is caused by ourselves. Like, we do it to ourselves. And if you can realize that, then you'll heal much faster. Because if you had trusted your gut in the first place and not dealt with this person romantically at all, you wouldn't have had to deal with nearly as much emotional pain, right? But because you ignored it, you allowed that pain to enter your life. So in your mental space, you're realizing that, but that's not a bad thing, right? Everything is a lesson, so you're learning and growing throughout everything in your life. So that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying that that's what you're realizing right now, and that's good, okay? Also with the King of Swords, and the Page of Wands, while you are realizing that, it's maturing you. And I don't mean that as you were immature before. Because like I said, we all mature, grow, and learn throughout our entire lives. No matter how old you are always maturing. Okay? So you've now come into the King of Swords energy, which means you are now becoming a master of your mental space, which is great. Okay? But also with the Page of Wands, you're not allowing your mental space to rule your life. You still have that Page of Wands, which is your creative energy. It represents the feminine side of your brain, okay? The right side of your brain. Whereas the King of Swords represents the left side of your brain, which is masculine energy. All right, so you are still balanced in your mental space. Sure, one's a page, one's a king, but that's okay. All right, it still means there's still a little bit of that balance there, which is good. In your heart space, you have the Page of Pentacles, Temperance, and the Tower. So in your heart space, you're feeling like, well, let me address the thing I know you're looking at. The Tower is not bad here, okay? It's actually representing a massive change in a good sense, where even though this is your central focus, with those three in your mental space, the Tower is actually coming around because you are changing out of this central focus into your heart space, where it's like with the Page of Pentacles, you're open now to, you're opening up your heart space very slowly but surely, right? And with Temperance, it's because you're becoming more peaceful, you're feeling more patient, but you're also just, it's more an energy of peace, where this is more chaotic energy. You're going back into your heart space to relax, to calm down, and to open yourself back up again. Because if you have a closed heart space, your whole outside reality is going to be very cold, and it's going to feel very lonely, okay? Because what happens in your outside reality is just a reflection of what is happening inside you. So as you open your heart space, you're going to feel more warm on the inside, and you're going to see more warmth in the outside world, okay? So that's beautiful energy. It's opening back up, which is great. And then down here, you have your Nine of Pentacles, which we also had here for this person, right? So it's again here, Nine of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, and the Two of Cups. So now you are realizing your worth, and you're like, I deserved much more than this. Kind of how this person was seeing themselves in the past, like they knew their worth, kind of, but they were allowing themselves to stay in devil energy. Now it's the opposite here, where you also have the Nine of Pentacles, but you know your worth now, right? After all this, and you know that you deserve a solid foundation with somebody and a very strong soul connection that is going to be healthy, that is balanced here, right? It's open on every level. So now it's like you have to go through the shitty stuff so that you learn what you truly deserve, and you deserve the best, So that's good, okay? And then the Hierophant over here with the Eight of Wands and the Chariot. So that's that commitment, that because this Chariot popped out in the beginning, it was the first card to come out. So like I said, there's a commitment coming into your life, okay? And it's coming very quickly with the Eight of Wands and the Chariot. These are the two fastest cards in the deck, okay? Chariot being the fastest, Eight of Wands being the second fastest, all right? So it's not just coming, it's like rocket right for you, you know what I mean? So that's great. Now, moving into the future, okay? Because that was all present energy. Moving into the future. First thing you have is the Moon with the Queen of Swords and the Six of Cups. Okay, so you had the King of Swords in your mental space. So now there's a Queen of Swords coming into your energy. It doesn't have to be romantic. It's just a person in general. Okay, but it is somebody that you've known since you were young. I want to say like, I don't know, maybe before 10, right? So somebody that you knew for a long time. Like I said, doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a friend or something, but it's a feminine energy, okay? And with the Moon here, this person's going to help you address some of the clouded and hidden emotions that you're still carrying a little bit from this central focus that we talked about. So that person's going to be very beneficial for you because they are holding the sword up, okay? And if you notice, there's clouds all beneath the sword, but above the sword it's clear skies, because that's what the swords do. They cut through the illusions and the overthinking, and it helps you gain clarity. So all these clouds and your present energy, this person's going to help you clear that up in the future, okay? Ace of Swords, Eight of Wands, Ace of Swords, Eight of Swords, and the Five of Swords. That is all sword energy, okay? So the Ace of Swords here it's a brand new start in communication, right? It's, like I said, the clarity, cutting through the bullshit, cutting through the illusion. But with it being paired with the Eight of Swords and the Five of Swords, it's not necessarily with external things, it's with internal things. So internally, you are going to be breaking the areas where you feel restricted or you feel held back. Also with these Five of Swords, these negative thought patterns and the self-sabotaging tendencies, all of that is going to be cut away with that Ace of Swords. All right, so it's, again, in the future, you're going to really be like really clearing any lingering energy that you're dealing with in the present, which in turn leads you here, okay, which is the Five of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Ace of Cups. Now, you had the Ace of Cups in the past, remember, because that's what you wanted, but it wasn't the right situation. So now in the future, you do have the Ace of Cups again, and this time it is the Wheel of Fortune has turned in your favor, okay? Which is a beautiful energy. So you are going to be having that brand new start in love and that overflow of emotion, which is great. All right. The only thing to be cautious of is it's paired with the Five of Wands. So there are going to be people around you that disagree with this new person or this new decision. All right. And it's not because there's something wrong with this new energy. It's sometimes people can get jealous around you, especially if you have a very beautiful connection. People will get jealous because they want that, but they don't want to put in the work to heal themselves to actually find that, right? But you've already put in the work to heal yourself. That's why you are being rewarded with external love, because you've already worked on the internal love of loving yourself, right? So just be wary of certain people around you that may be jealous and trying to cause a little drama. Don't even let it phase you. Like, don't let it get involved in your connection. Just cut it out for what it is, which is bullshit, and you don't need it, and just move on, right? So then lastly here with the Chariot, the Page of Cups, and Death. So this was the Chariot that was in your present energy right here. Once it arrives in the future, it is bringing Death and the Page of Cups. And this is beautiful energy, okay? A death is a brand new beginning. It's the death of the old and the beginning of the new. And with Page of Cups here, that is an offer, right? It's a small offer. It's going to start small, right? It's going to start with like maybe going out for coffee or going out for dinner. It can also be an apology. So it's possible it's somebody that you've already connected with in the past. It doesn't have to be that person from the past that we talked about earlier, but it's possible it's somebody that you have already known that is coming back to kind of reconcile with you. But their energy has changed. I do see it as they're much more balanced now, and it is going to be the Ace of Cups here. So it's going to be up to you to make that judgment call, because this is a general reading, okay? But yeah, so that is what I have for you guys for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a great day. And you can turn it off now, because now I'm going to talk about my website. So really quickly, just to touch on it, I've done it at the end of every reading, except for like one that I didn't have time. But I have made my own website. I've been working on it for the past over a year. I did everything myself. I designed and coded everything myself. And if you do want a personal reading, that is where you book with me now, so that you're absolutely sure it is me, because there are a lot of scammers out there right now, especially for tarot readers. I'm sure if you watch other readers on YouTube, you've already heard that. So the only way to book with me is through my website, so you know for sure it is me. And also on there, I built an entire spiritual community. If you're interested in joining that, it's completely free, because I have seen throughout my time posting on YouTube that a lot of you try to talk to each other in the comments, but YouTube's not good for that. You know what I mean? Like it's difficult to like learn each other, speak to each other, meet people. So I made an entire community, right, where you can meet other twin flames, other people that are spiritual. You can talk about anything esoteric, right? So you have forums if you want to talk there about a specific topic. There's also we have our own social media aspect, which is a spiritual social media. So if you're interested in that, it's all free to use. I also post my teachings up there, and the lessons, things like that, and esoteric teachings. That's all free as well. I post my artwork up there if you're interested in that, because I'm an artist, but that's not important if you don't want to look at that. And then I have an apparel line up. So if you want to support me in any way, you can. I also sell crystals. So crystals, apparel, artwork. If you want to look at any of that, you can. I just love to design. There's a lot more coming to the crystal section. There's only a little bit right now, because I just launched the website like 2 weeks ago. But there'll be more coming, all right? So yeah, if you want to support me, you can. If not, don't worry about it. It's not necessary. It's just I'm mentioning what's on the website. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. And yeah, thank you guys very much and have a great day.